Hi, my name is Charlie Pulfer. I'm the Vice President of Product Management here at Titus. And what I'd like to cover in this video is the recent WikiLeaks information leakage news that probably everybody has heard about. And I want to talk about how the Titus solutions can help alleviate that type of problem in the future. So to begin with, let's just review how this problem happened. Basically, we had a guy who had access to a lot of information. And the way that he wanted to get that information out of the data center and out to the organizations he leaked to was via CD-ROM. So basically what he did in the WikiLeaks leak is this person came into the data center with a CD-ROM. And on the CD-ROM he had written Lady Gaga. So when he sat down at his computer over here to work on his computer with his headphones on, and he popped his Lady Gaga CD into the computer, everyone thought that he was listening to music. But actually this was a blank CD-ROM. And when he plopped that CD-ROM into this computer here, basically he was allowed to copy a bunch of information which was sitting on a database, all kinds of classified information about the Iraq and Afghanistan war, and also about cables between embassies. He was basically allowed to copy that data onto the CD-ROM of this computer. So then he burned all of that information, a lot of megabytes of information, onto the CD-ROM, and then basically he could walk out of the data center and take that information wherever he wanted. So that's obviously a problem. Now that we've looked at the actual problem, let's look at some of the solutions that we can solve this WikiLeaks situation. Here we've got our guy here, and as you know, he had access basically some secret information on those computers. One of the possible solutions is just to put some blocking software onto the computer so that you would basically block all access to the CD-ROM and the USB. So in that case, no one would actually be able to write to the CD-ROM or the USB. The only problem in that scenario is that basically you're blocking all information there. And if you actually want some people to be able to share information which is on the computer and be able to take it off the USB, then that solution is not too good. If you're working with unclassified information, for instance, you may actually want to be able to share that type of information. So totally blocking the CD-ROM and the USB stick is probably not a good solution. The Titus solution in this particular case would be to ask the user to classify this information as it's being created. So we can see here that the user can classify the information either as secret in this case, or in this case we're classifying a document as unclassified. The Titus solutions then allow basically, when you classify that document, for the creation of metadata. So we can see here that when this document has been created as secret, we also have some metadata which indicates that this document is secret, and that will travel with the document wherever it goes. So when you take that document and you place it into a database or a file system on the computer, basically that metadata tag indicating that it's secret will always be there. And then what we can do is we can then use that metadata tag to decide over here on the computer whether that information should be allowed to be written to a CD-ROM or a USB stick. In this case, probably we would build a rule which would say that if the information is secret, we don't want to have that information written to CD-ROM or to USB stick. But if the information is unclassified, we should probably be allowing that information to be written out to the CD-ROM or the USB stick so it can be shared with other users. All right, just to summarize and final, basically the difference between the Titus solution and the original problem was that in the original situation, basically there was no metadata being written to the information. In the original WikiLeaks problem, basically, because there was no metadata, anything could be copied to the CD-ROM. In the Titus solution, we write that metadata, and that then allows us to block the correct information going to the CD-ROM, which allows for the proper sharing of the information. Thank you.